The 20th edition of the Nigerian Economic Summit ended today in Abuja, Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, with the renewed hope that the education sector will be overhauled. There were interesting sessions with the children themselves, calling on the leaders of the nation to fix the sector by providing adequate infrastructure for education to thrive across the country.
The Vice President promised that the federal government would take proper brief from the board of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group on their recommendations.
It was the third and final day of the Nigerian Economic Summit, the coup de grace, if you will, and in the spotlight, the voices of tomorrow, lent by the children of today.
This is the digital age, so we will expect the people who live in the digital age as against those who have enjoyed analog for a long time to speak a lot more. It is their time.
I see a Nigeria where there's no tribalism, where there's no Northerner, no Southerner, no Easterner, no Westerner, no Yoruba man, no Igbo man, no House man. I see a Nigeria that is not identified by corruption. I see a Nigeria where there's no favoritism. We are more than we are one. That's the Nigeria I see.
I see a future where both boys and girls are given equal opportunities to succeed. And education is made free up to high school for all Nigerian students. Even if at all government wants to charge fees, they should at least make student loans available at 0% interest and repayable between 20 to 30 years.
The public sector was continually represented. The presence of governors, deputy governors, and senators participating in a most vociferous way.
It is not even fair, and we distort the real picture when we select students from very privileged federal government colleges, where admission is a function not of merit. It's a function of connection, it's a function of the uncle, it's a function of ministers' list, governors' list, etc. I would like to see that in trying to understand the depth of our crisis, that will bring children from those schools without roof in Edo State, those schools without roof in Katsina State, those schools without roof in Lagos State, and ask them to talk side by side with children from these private schools so that we can see how much the environment can change, the entire foundation for education.
In terms of leadership, we should start with the leader of the state. In our own case, with the governor of the state. A leader who does not have passion for education, who does not love education, who has not gone through education process, cannot lead well. And I also want you to know that education is central to everything. I'm from Ekiti State. That's the only industry we have. It is our oil, it is our gold, it is our diamond, and so we are putting everything into it. And for us, the leader takes control, and he knows that the buck stops at his table. Any leader who wants to make change must have an obligation to the people.
I think if we have strong institutions that are well managed, that publish accounts, and disclose, all their practices, that you will have a better educational system. So good governance.
The deliberations of the 20th Nigerian Economic Summit yielded these recommendations, inclusive of which propose government reforms, reduce the number of parastatals in the Federal Ministry of Education, greater autonomy for tertiary institutions, commitment from private sector to support public education, to establish set of early childhood resource centers, fund education projects where private sector brings profit interest and competence to bear, citizen-led assessment learning, to mention a few.
We have received the report and we are inviting the summit to formally make a presentation to the Federal Executive Council. Usually that's what we do. And then we will pick the recommendations and send them to the relevant MDAs for implementation.
Education for education's sake is not the objective of the summit, but rather to aid national development, recognizing that no robust economy can grow without a sound educational foundation, founded by principles, funded by the government and the private sector, and recognized by the citizens. Olumide Macaulay, Channels Television.